What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So it's time for the weekly rotation, my favorite time of the week. And I had some really good fragrances that I wore this week. Some newer stuff to the collection that kind of surprised me at how good they are. Some really popular designer releases. Actually, what I wore today, for example, just some bangers, if I do say so myself. And it's week number 211 in the weekly rotation. So let's get into it. Stay tuned. So starting off on Sunday was Christmas Eve, and I didn't wear anything out the shower that evening, but I did double down on my scent choice. Christmas Eve is when my family typically does Christmas, and I decided to go with Homme for the holidays from Happyland Studio. May EJ rest in peace. This is my favorite creation EJ has ever made. Coffee, syrup, and waffles. Super gourmand coffee fragrance. I'm not big on gourmands, but this one I only wear around Christmas time. And it's easily my favorite coffee-based fragrance. Monstrous performance. I wore roughly 3 of those big, massive sprays you just saw, which is equivalent to like 6 sprays from most other fragrance atomizers. And it just kept going and going. What a beautiful scent that's really encompasses, food and family and the holidays and the giving spirit and all the good stuff. It really EJ outdid himself with this one. That was part of the brilliance of the man EJ Wells. So like I said, may he rest in peace. It was great to honor him as well as really go with what I think to be the ultimate Christmas fragrance, to be honest with you. I mean, clever play on words. The Happyland guy on the label even has the Santa hat on with mistletoe all around him. Christmas Eve. It was Happyland Studio, Home for the holidays. Moving into Monday was Christmas Day. And, aside from my wife saying it smelled nice, literally that was it. Nobody said anything. I was kind of surprised. I wanted to see what kind of feedback I would get from it because it's an interesting fragrance. It's Pasha de Cartier Noir Absolu. It's not like it's some super mass appealing fragrance that I anticipated a bunch of compliments with. I just wanted to see if and what anybody might have to say about the scent profile, because the note breakdown is very much what you get: charred woods and caramel. It's got some earthy green tones to it as well, but like very dirty earthy. But like burnt wood, like ashy smoked wood. Yeah, it sure has that. But now drizzle that with caramel. It sounds weird, I get it, but it's a polarizing scent. I'm sure there's people that can't stand this, but I quite enjoy it. I think it's a very interesting fragrance. I love the aroma. One of the most interesting releases of 2023, possibly the most interesting. No, one of. I'll go with one of, because Faces of Francis was pretty interesting. But a little bit of a challenge that I really enjoyed. I went with some kind of off-the-wall stuff. I went with a sweet coffee gourmand for Christmas Eve, and then during the day I went with, not something I will wear that often because it's a very situational scent, but a memorable scent nonetheless. So give it a try if you haven't. If you want something off the beaten path from designers, check out Pasha de Cartier Noir Absolu. Moving into Tuesday was Travel Day back home, and this is superior to its original in my opinion. This is Lattafa's Qahwa, the coffee flanker. This is much more spicy. I mean, way more spicy than the original. Still has all that beautiful sweetness. You do get a nice, like, medium roast Arabica coffee type of smell to it that doesn't hang the entire time. But the biggest takeaway for me is the enhancement of the cardamom. And I don't get loads of ginger here, but I definitely get loads of cinnamon. I love the way this smells. Crazy performance, too. Super longevity. 12 plus hours easily. I actually did a full review on this one if you want to hear further detail than what you'll get in this week of rotation video. But this was one of Lattafa's best releases of the year, for sure. It was a later in the year release, but a great one. It was worth the wait. They had a couple really good releases this year. But this one might have taken the cake. This might be my favorite 2023 release from the brand. And if you like sweet, spicy, and coffee, you'll probably like this. And it's no slouch in performance. During the day was Lattafa's Qahwa. If I could get this to focus, that'd be great. There we go. And then 3 nights in a row, I decided to roll with Polo Black from Ralph Lauren. This just smells so good. My wife definitely complimented me every single night. I got about 4 hours was what I clocked it every night. So we'll call it 3 to 4 hour range in longevity. So it's kind of like with Polo Double Black. It's here for a good time, but not here for a long time because it does smell incredible. Lemon, I believe there's a little bit of pineapple, some mango, just very fruity and citric type of fragrance and very musky without all of that dark coffee and heavy earthiness from patchouli that you get in Double Black. I believe there still is a little bit of patchouli here, but it doesn't add much of an earthy tone. And they've, oh God, that smells so good. And they've changed it to their newer bottle styles with that beautiful atomizer you just saw. So Polo Black got an upgrade. I would love to see a new Polo Black flanker because we only have black and double black. Clearly Polo Black's still in production. We need a Polo Black Parfum or something along those lines. That would be fantastic. Or Polo Black Eau de Parfum. Ralph Lauren fragrances. I need that in my life. But good stuff. So 3 nights in a row. I'll just touch on it over the next 2 days, but man, such a beautiful fragrance. Doesn't get any love anymore, but still great. As long as you temper expectations and performance. Polo Black. Moving into Wednesday was the newest release from Ralph Lauren. This is Polo Oud. Polo Oud is smoky and spicy and super woodsy with a little bit of sweetness to it. It's got a, very earthy tone. I really, really like this one. This is a great release for them. A little bit of that oud wood smell to it, like the oud that's in Tom Ford oud wood or Versace oud noir, like that kind of oud smell. Maybe even a little bit better, definitely a little bit better than Versace oud noir. But it just smells great. It's very smoky as well. I quite enjoy that woody dominant, not too funky, very resinous and ambery. It's a really good fragrance. Now they did put it in the Polo Green bottle. I don't think it really smells like Polo Green. I think they just wanted to throw it in a line, and they figured, hey, let's throw it in Polo Green's line. But I don't get a relation to Polo Green. But as an individual, it's a phenomenal fragrance that very situational, don't get me wrong, cool weather only type of thing for me. Like after January, I'll probably be shelving this until next year. Because February it'll start to warm up pretty good for the most part because it's been pretty chilly here lately. So I've been pulling out stuff like this, and this is a phenomenal scent. I think is one of the better releases of the year. If I would have had this before I released my best designer releases of 2023, this would have made the cut for the 10 because I like it that much. Definitely give it a sample if you want a really good designer level oud. Polo Oud might be what you're looking for. And then once again, 2 nights in a row out the shower, I went with Ralph Lauren Polo Black. Moving into Thursday, we kept the oud theme going. So this is called Crescendo of Oud from Ajmal, and I am digging this. This is a powdery rose, not a thick and jammy rose. You do get some fruity sweetness from raspberry, nice leathery facet as it dries. You get just as much of this supple leather smell as you do of that slightly funky oud. And then the saffron offers this nice warm, spicy, ambery tone to this fragrance. Performance is crazy good too. There it is. This is really good. This is one of the better, more wearable oud scents that I've smelled in a while. I just did a full review on this one. I'm quite enjoying this. If you want to hear further detail beyond this, definitely go check out my full review. But if you haven't tried this one from Ajmal, I would highly suggest seeking out a sample, a decant, whatever, and just getting your nose on it and seeing if it's for you. Because, yeah, this one impressed me for sure. So back-to-back days with some pretty good ouds. This is Ajmal's Crescendo of Oud, if I can get it to focus. There we go. It's like a weapon, too. It's so heavy. And then, once again, 3 nights in a row out the shower, I went with Polo Black. Moving into Friday, this is new to the collection, and it very much smells like insert your favorite Aventus-esque DNA, whether it's Hachivat, or some people have even said Cedrat Boisé. I don't really get much Cedrat Boisé from this. But I can see Hachivat, I can see Aventus. I get like 30-40% Aventus. 30-40% Nishanes Ani with a little bit of other things, some florals and stuff going on with Electimuss Imperium. This is a very wearable, daily wear, masculine, vanilla-based fragrance. I don't think it's all that sweet. I've had some people tell me it's too sweet for them, so I wanted to say, I didn't reply, but I wanted to say you must not wear a single modern designer then, because most of them are sweet fragrances. If you think this is too sweet, you must avoid everything Paco Rabanne and Azzaro put out these days, and most Armani fragrances, and so on and so forth, because there's sweet fragrances are everywhere. Jean Paul Gaultier, they're like sweet fragrance company at this point. But I'm here for it. I like the sweet fragrances. So this is not near any of that kind of stuff. The quality's a lot better. Performance is really good. And like I said, it's quite versatile. It's a woodsy, citric, kind of a more of a fresh, fruity, like a fruity citrus, I guess you could say, because it's not really all that acidic, sharp, and watery kind of citrus, but it's also not a sweet, fruity smell. It's kind of somewhere in between. The florals don't really dominate this fragrance all that much, but the heart notes is low, 4 or 5 different floral notes, but it doesn't smell flowery. It's not really much of a powder-based fragrance, but you get a nice woody tone, very dominant woodsy note with this, rich vanilla that's not too creamy and definitely doesn't come across powdery to me, but definitely adds some sweetness. This is a good one. I think this is my new favorite from Electimuss. During the day, Electimuss Imperium. Then when I got the shower, it was time for a good shave. So I went with my favorite shave set, Zaharoff Signature Tabac. Gave myself a few sprays of the fragrance as well. That juice level continues to drop. I love this fragrance. I go back and forth all the time between this and Triumph of Bacchus as my favorite tobacco fragrance. They're definitely like 1A and 1B. This is just so versatile and kind of therapeutic in a way. Like, I love lathering up the shave soap, having a good shave, splashing on a bit after, and then giving myself 4 or 5 sprays of the fragrance. It's a very relaxing aromatherapy type of thing for me. So I've gotten to where I hardly even wear this one casually or out in the world. I kind of just wear this one for me in the evenings, mainly when I need to shave, because it's just joy. Just a very spa-like aromatherapy session for me in the evenings. Soothes the soul, if you will. So out the shower, had a great shave, and I was smelling fantastic. It was a Zaharoff Signature Tabac. Finally, on Saturday, what I wore during the day today, and I do think it's the definitive fragrance in the line. It's good stuff. It's really, really good stuff. It's Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privee. Performance on me is fantastic. I had somebody in my comments on my shorts video mention a clone that performs better. I'm sorry if you don't get good performance out of the original. I get great performance out of it. My wife, we were going down the stairs to head to the car to go to, where were we going earlier? I forgot where we went earlier, and she's like, something smells great out here. And I was a whole flight of stairs ahead of her. I said, you smell me? She said, you sure? I said, I smell me. And when she got closer, I leaned in. I said, is that what you smell? She said, oh, yeah, that's definitely what I smell. Yeah, you smell great. So, powdery, boozy, woodsy, spicy, magnificent release. I gotta say, it's one of the better releases to come out in 2022. It's one of the better designer releases in the last 5 years, if you like Iris. It very much smells like the Eau de Parfum with added booze. And you get a little bit of enhanced spice that you could get from Gentleman Bois. So that's why I've said in the past that if you have both of those, it's kind of redundant to have this. So that's kind of what took me so long to get it, because I don't need it, but I wanted it because I have the EDP, I have Bois. But if you don't have either of those, I personally think this is the, like I said, definitive. I think it's the best one of the 3 to get. Just a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. That color scheme gradients really matches like your booziness to the Eau de Parfum's DNA, because it's a black bottle. So you have that creamy, kind of balmy, powdery iris smell. Just a stunning fragrance during the day on Saturday. Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privee. And then when I got out the shower a little while ago, I actually wore this one to the gym this morning also, which I haven't been wearing anything to the gym for a while now. It was nice to have a nice little fresh spritz of Bois de Yuzu from Karl Lagerfeld. So I picked this tester up for like $17 not long ago. Such an uplifting, fresh, zesty, green citrus smell. This is so invigorating and fun. It doesn't smell super synthetic, but of course it's not a photorealistic, natural smelling citrus. It's not like fresh squeezed lemons and yuzus and stuff like that, but close enough, man. For $17, this might be the best citrus-based fragrance you can buy. For $17, it is hard to beat. Now, it doesn't do that great in performance. I get about 3 to 4 hours, which is kind of what I expected going into it, because it's just so airy, fresh, and citrus dominant. Citrus notes tend to be very volatile and evaporate off of the skin very quickly. So you got to know that going into a fragrance like this, that it's not going to go crazy long lasting, but it's going to be very bright early on, and it's going to be a to die for kind of opening. That's how I feel about these heavy citruses, but a beautiful fragrance. To the gym and out the shower, Bois de Yuzu from Karl Lagerfeld. Well, that was this week's rotation. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback. And I love hearing from you guys. What'd you guys wear this week? The final rotation of the year that includes Christmas, because the day this comes out is going to be on New Year's Eve. Last day of 2023. I hope 2023 was a wonderful year for you guys. I hope it was productive, successful, and you got everything you wanted out of the year. One of the best years of my life, hands down. Quick thank you for you guys that haven't heard me say thank you already multiple times for allowing that to happen, because that happened recently. That was my main goal this year, was all I want for Christmas is the Silver Play Button Award. I have that now, so thank you all very much for making 2023 such a memorable year for me. And on to 2024, bigger and better things for all of us, hopefully. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Oh, and before I go, if you get your hands on any of the fragrances that I wore in this past week's rotation and you give them a spray now, you know the drill. You might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.